Decoding Revelation, the shocking truth about the end times. The hook, the Hollywood nightmare. What comes to mind when you hear the Book of Revelation? Continental earthquakes? Four horsemen bringing death? A terrifying beast rising from the sea? For centuries, Hollywood and fire and brimstone preachers have turned the final book of the Bible into a sci-fi horror movie. But what if I told you that almost everything you know about the apocalypse is actually a massive historical misunderstanding? Today, we are stripping away the fear to decode John's secret message. You're about to see that Revelation isn't a doomsday clock for the year 2026. It's a blueprint for hope written in a sophisticated, ancient code. The context, a political letter in code. First rule of decoding. Forget the telescope. The book of Revelation was actually a letter sent to 7 churches suffering under extreme Roman persecution. John wasn't writing to us in the 21st century. He was writing to people living under the sword of tyrant. Back then, if you spoke against the emperor, you lost your head. So, John used apocalyptic literature, a type of spy code that only insiders could understand. Think of it like a political cartoon. When John mentions a beast, his readers didn't think of a Godzilla-like monster. They immediately thought of a specific person. 3. The number 666. It's not a microchip. This is the biggest shocker. The number 666. People have used it to blame everything from barcodes and the internet to modern politicians. But in the ancient world, every letter had a numerical value, a system called gematria. If you translate the name Neron Caesar, the brutal Emperor Nero, into Hebrew and add up the numbers, the total is exactly 666. The beast wasn't a supernatural entity coming in the distant future. To John's readers, the beast was already there. It was the Roman imperial system that was slaughtering them. Revelation wasn't a prediction of the planet's destruction. It was a prediction of the fall of a dictatorship. The horsemen, not natural disasters. War, famine, plague, and death. These were usually seen as signs of the approaching end. But look at the historical reality. In the first century, these were daily occurrences. The rider on the black horse holding scales, that represents the hyperinflation and economic injustice of that era, where the rich kept their wine and oil while the poor couldn't afford a loaf of bread. John wasn't predicting new disasters. He was explaining that even in the chaos of history, there is a higher power in control. He was telling his readers, don't fear these riders. Their time is temporary. The atmosphere, why the end, is misunderstood. The word apocalypse in Greek doesn't mean destruction. It means unveiling, an aha moment. The purpose of Revelation wasn't to scare people to death. On the contrary, it ends with a brilliant vision, a new world where there are no more tears, no more pain. We've made the mistake of focusing so much on the beast that we forgot the lamb. We focused on the collapse and forgot the reconstruction. Revelation is a call for resilience and hope in a world full of injustice. Conclusion, the lesson for us. So, is the book of Revelation scary? Yes, if you view it through the lens of a horror movie. But if you see it as a historical message, it is incredibly empowering. It reminds us that every tyrant and every empire eventually falls, and that light wins in the end. That's a timeless message, whether you're in the first century or the year 2026. Now, I want to hear from you. Were you surprised to learn that 666 was actually a code name for a Roman emperor? After watching this, does Revelation feel like a book of fear or a book of hope? Let's argue politely in the comments. Hit that like button if you love these historical decodings. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we are diving into the mystery of the lost city of Atlantis. Is it actually hidden in the Sahara Desert? Thanks for watching. Keep seeking the truth, and I'll see you in the next one.